Hello guys, now I will testing Rise of the Tomb Raider once again on PC. I'm using the Geforce GTX 750 Ti with 2GB of VRAM, and I overclocked the 750 Ti 200 MHz. I added 200 MHz to the core and 400 MHz to the VRAM, and the Core 4790 with all the cores enabled, even Turbo Boost on, but this time with 4GB of RAM. So this will be on the highest possible. This to see if this is the issue. So when the system doesn't have enough memory to run something, it uses, instead of if it runs out of physical RAM to use, it uses virtual memory or the page file, as you can see. So I have two drives on my PC. I have the C drive, which is an SSD, and the D drive, which is a hard drive. I mean an SSD and an HDD. So this one is way slower than this one. So many people will have an HDD, not an SSD. So SSDs are way faster. So the page file is like a portion of the drive that is used as RAM, for saying it some way. So if I use the SSD for that, it will be way faster, so it won't be accurate. So I put that the D drive, the HDD, to use a page file, just as any other computer. Okay, so this will be as accurate as possible, as you can see. So let's start with the game. So in the options menu, I will start with 1080p and the lowest settings, shadows off, everything off. Then we'll see what happens and change the settings on the fly. So, okay, let's start with the game. This game is using way more than 4GB usually, so I don't have much hope for it. Also for FPS monitoring and PC monitoring with the yellow letters in the top left corner of the video, I'm using CAM. You can learn how to use it by clicking on the top right corner of the video where the CAM logo is. Okay, so we're in the main menu. I'm using the lowest setting possible and 1080p. So let's continue the game. As you can remember, 4GB of RAM, and as you can see the value on the top left corner called MEM, which is now 0.674 and 1.55. Well, those values, the first value, the 1.01, is the RAM that the actual game is using, and on the right, the 1.19 is the RAM that is available to use by the system. So if the value on the right runs out or is very low, the game won't run well. That happened with the division just now on the beta. The available memory was 0.3 GB, so the game wasn't able to keep up, and it lagged all over the place, even on the lowest setting and the lowest resolution, which was 1024 by 768. Even on that, the game wasn't playable at all. It didn't load the assets, or it took a lot of time. You cannot even aim because it was stuttering all over the place. So the division didn't make it. So let's try Rise of the Tomb Raider. So remember, I will try the lowest setting and 1080p, and then I will start lowering resolutions depending on what happens. But so far I'm seeing that the available RAM now is 0.44 GB, so it's very low. If we're lucky, we might be able to run this game fine, but I highly doubt it. This game is very demanding, and the loading screens are long. Imagine with less RAM. There should be longer. But yeah, keep all that stuff in mind. Sometimes the FPS counter will disappear because of the low RAM, but okay. Yeah, I couldn't even move the mouse. Yeah, it starts all over the place now. It froze. The video didn't freeze, the game froze. I'm still recording. Yeah, okay, I'm back. I'm not back. This is an inside area. This is the least bad performing area. I cannot do anything. I cannot even move the mouse correctly. I will try to shoot. It's just unplayable. I'll try to keep going and see what happens, but okay. Okay, let's run a little. Well, now it's doing fine, apparently. Okay, now it's better. It took a while to load the assets, that's it. Okay. As you can see now, it's not playable at all. I mean, what the fuck? Let's see if I can hit him. Okay, I just froze. Oh, okay, I got him. Yeah, it just takes a long time to load the assets, as you can see. Let's see what happens if I go to the zip line. Yeah, as expected. Freezes, freezes, freezes. It just froze. And the sound repeats itself because the animation is not over yet. Okay. Got it. Okay, awful. As expected. Okay, let's try lowering the settings. I mean the resolution. Come on, load the menu please. Game, load the menu for me. Let's go straight to 720. Now, let's go straight to 800 by 600. Just for the sake of it. So this is the lowest possible. Yes, yes. So this is 800 by 600, and the graphics, everything on the lowest, so you can see. Nothing. So this is the lowest possible. Yeah, it still freezes. Yeah, it froze. So my video card is overclocked. I even seen an i7 4790.
He told us to wait for you.
Can you see what's happening? I'm using the lowest setting, lowest resolution, and the game is running awful on 4 GB. If I did this with 8 GB, I will be able to even play it at 120 FPS on this setting. It's just frozen. No pun intended. It's unplayable like this. So just don't even try it if you have 4 GB of RAM. Yeah, it plays nice sometimes, but just for a few seconds, then it starts dying, the game. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's not playable. So please don't try it with 4 GB. If you love yourself, or have any respect for yourself, just buy more RAM. Come on. DDr3 memory is very cheap nowadays. But very cheap, even in my country where hardware is very expensive. Okay. Yeah, it's run awful. Don't even try this with 4 GB. So, okay. You'll say, oh, I cannot afford it. Oh, no, you can afford it. I'm using Crucial Ballistic Sports RAM. So you can see 4 GB here. Crucial technology. Crucial Ballistic Sport, 4 GB. So if you live in the US, for example, you want 4 GB DDR3. I'm saying it's very cheap. 4 GB, 1600 MHz, $20. 4 GB, the same module that I own, $21.87. So it's very, very cheap, even in my country where, just see this, GTX 970, just for comparison's sake. So a 970 is, yeah, $320, $350. So let's see how expensive this card is on my country, on Uruguay. So if you want to see the video card here, as I said, the 970 is around $350. Yeah, as you can see, the MSI gaming edition. How much would it cost on my country? Let's check. 970, $350. Here's the same card, MSI GTX 970 4 GB gaming, $560. That's how expensive this is on my country. So compare. 970. So you see, nearly $200 extra here. So what about the RAM? So the RAM here is very cheap, $20, no? Right? I mean, let's check now how expensive RAM is here. RAM. Where's the RAM? Here, RAM. DDr3, remember, 4 gigabytes. It was around $20, 4 gigabytes, 1600 megahertz. And as you can see, 4 gigabytes, 1600 megahertz, DDr3 RAM, as I told you, $30, just $10 more. You have no excuse to just have 4 gigabytes. Just buy another stick. I mean, it's very cheap, even in my country. You have no excuse. So just add another 4 gigabytes and you will be totally fine. Trust me. That's it for now. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.